Eric Tatusis walked through the front doors of the Visitor Center at Fort Battleford National Historic Site, greeted by the faces of dozens of smiling school children. The local knowledge keeper stepped up to the microphone and shared his perspective on the events that took place on this land more than a century ago.
So when I'm asked, I have to tell the ancient truth.
Lisa Ludi with Parks Canada tells me they're making a concerted effort to explore previously untold perspectives about one of Saskatchewan's most notable historic sites.
Right now, Fort Battleford is undergoing sort of a rejuvenation, I guess you could say, of its presentation of the history surrounding the site. And that includes the Indigenous side, obviously. So there is an actual Fort Battleford Visitor Experience Working Group right now. There are members of the Indigenous community that are part of that, working together to, agree on what that story looks like and how it should be presented.
If you aren't familiar with the story of Fort Battleford, here's a little bit of a crash course for you. The fort was established in 1876. It has important ties to military operations at the time. It's been historically viewed as a source of great pride for the Canadian government, but it's also a source of great anguish for many Indigenous people. Chief Poundmaker was a Plains Cree chief who was known as a peacemaker. Fort Battleford is the site where he was arrested before being convicted of treason, a crime he was exonerated of more than 130 years after his death. It's also the location where 8 First Nations men were executed in the largest mass hanging in Canadian history. As you wander through the historic site, you'll find colorful post-it notes scattered on the walls. Visitors have scrawled their questions, concerns, and criticisms on each slip of paper before tacking them up for everyone to see. These notes are another outlet for open dialogue, which is a crucial part of Parks Canada's plan to move forward, walking a fine line between honoring Canada's history and ensuring the story being shared on this land is an honest one.
We have now this opportunity to test this reconciliation. We are going to try our best.
At Fort Battleford, I'm Brittany Cafe, 650 CKOM.